This is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and this is a quilt update. This is the binding that I'm putting on. Now, normally I would sew this on with a sewing machine, and I would sew it together with a sewing machine. But I don't like to sit and watch TV without something to do. So what I've done is I've taken all these 2.5-inch strips, and I have sewn them together end to end. Then I folded them in half. Here's a nice dark piece. Then I folded them in half, and I did a single stitch running baste just to hold them in, hold it together so that it doesn't come apart and I don't have to fold it every time I'm working. Then I started, where are you? At this end, and I started sewing it on. Now I leave a tail because I'm going to have to make a corner here. But now I'm sewing it on, and as I sew it, whenever I get a side done, I trim off the excess here. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to invisible stitch it to the back. I have doubled my thread. A lot of people don't, but I have not put a knot on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the quilt at the front, and I'm going to come up through the binding, and I'm going to pull, and I'm just going to take the thread, and I'm just going to give that just a gentle tug until that tail end disappears. You don't want to pull it out, you don't want to pull it all the way through. And then I'm just going to stitch through where I came out a couple of times to anchor it into place. So we're going to go back through the spot underneath where your first stitch is, and we're going to go between the layers of the quilt. It's not going to show through on the back, your needle's not going to show through on the back, and it's going through the batting basically and up to your next spot so that the line or the stitch in between these two spots is hidden in the batting. So we're going to go back through that stitch right where it came out. It came out on the binding, but we're going to go back through the quilt top to the next spot and pull. Now again, if you want these to be truly invisible, you can do several things. You can use invisible thread, which is like a really fine fishing line, or you can use single thickness your thread, but I like to be sure that this is going to hold together. Once you get the hang of this, it's really simple. As long as your binding comes over and covers that stitching where you've sewed it on the back, see? And then I will wash it and ship it. Yay! Done! But when it's done, there'll be another video. All right? Mwah. Take care. God bless.